showed up.
You muted yourself, Simon.
Becky,
Thank you, Mr. Chair. You are now live.
Just before you go there, David, Becky, before Friday night, do you and your family want to come to Bundle this Friday, tomorrow night?
I can't. I'm doing an RCMP ride along and a couple of things, but I will reach out to Matthew. I sent you a note today. Matthew wants to do it.
Go ahead, David. Sorry, David.
To let you know, that's all been recorded.
Sorry, it's all nice stuff we're saying there, Simon. It's all good.
Okay. All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Harbour Marine Drive Community Council meeting for Thursday, October 14th. We're having another one of those virtual reality TV shows, I guess you can say. First of all, I'd like to call the meeting to order and do a roll call. Who's all present? So we'll go off in numeric order, starting with Councillor for District 3.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I am here in a little bit of an overcast Eastern Passage.
District 4.
Hi, Mr. Chair. Thank you. What do you mean overcast? It's like bright and sunny here in District 4. The sun shines all the time in District 4. Anyway, happy to be here. Looking forward to tonight.
I got a test 3 hours ago. I got caught in a downpour, Canadian Tire, Harbour. Anyway. District 5.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm here and ready to go, and it is cloudy in downtown Dartmouth, at least.
Thank you. And last but not least, the six-pack.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, colleagues, and everyone watching. Ready to go.
Thank you. And we'll do a quick confirmation of our staff present. Our solicitor.
Good evening.
Great. All right. Our planning applications. Do we have who's on board with us tonight? We have Mr. Purvis on tonight, do we? Or Maggie?
We have Ms. Holm this evening.
All right. Thank you, Maggie. And who else we have present on your crew?
I'll let them all announce themselves if they want to come forward and turn on your screen for a moment.
Thank you.
Paul Sampson from Urban Applications Team.
Claire Toos from the Rural Policy and Planning Applications Team.
Jamie Ellen Klenovic from the Urban Enabled Applications Team.
And Melissa Evis from the Urban Applications Team as well.
Thank you very much. And is that everybody we have on board? We got the clerk's office already. Simon, you want to introduce yourself? Say hi.
Thank you. Simon Ross Eagle, legislative assistant with the clerk's office and clerk for the meeting. And we also have Andrea Lavassi Wood as the co-host for producing, and our minutes tonight are being prepared by Liam McSween.
Okay, thank you. All right, so that's all the introductions. Let's get on with the approval of minutes of September the 2nd. We have a motion to move those minutes, please.
So move, Mr. Chair.
Moved by Councillor Kent, seconded by
Second.
Councillor Purdy. Thank you. Any question on the motion for a call for the question? Hearing none, all those in favor of the minutes of September 2nd as circulated, all say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, order of business. I have a request that that item 1312, case number 23791, be deferred until the next meeting. The property owner is having discussion with a prospectus buyer. They're actually in the meeting tonight, so they've asked that this item be deferred for a future date. Thank you.
Sorry, Mr. Chair, which item was that again? Sorry.
Item 1312.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, where you are the not a individual motion, but just in terms of making the request, if either the chair can step down briefly, and Councillor Kenty, you could assume the chair for just for procedure's sake, we can just note that, and then it will be approved during the ordinary vote for the approval of the order of business. I also just want to note that there is one requested added item, item 16.1, case 23374, development agreement for 246 Waverly Road, 2 and 4 Montebello Drive in Dartmouth. In order to add this item and also defer the other, I believe we would, where we're no longer in special meeting format, we only require 2/3 majority consent vote.
Okay, well, I'll just ask the vice chair to move that matter on my behalf of deferring the item of 13.12.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I will move that we defer 13.12 to a future meeting. Thank you.
Second.
Second it. And at the same time, we have a motion to add 16.1 to the agenda. Councillor Mancini.
Yep, I ask that the 16.1 be added to this evening's agenda.
Second.
Second it. So those two friendly amendments to the order of business. So all in favor of the amended order of business? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. No business arising in the past minutes. We'll get on to any declarations of conflict to be declared tonight. Hearing none. No motions of reconsideration, no motions of rescission, no consideration of deferred business, no notices of table matters, and no hearings are scheduled for tonight. So, Mr. Clerk, what do we have for correspondence that's been received for tonight's agenda?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The clerk's office has received several pieces of correspondence. These all, I believe, relate to case 23805 Portland Street and 16 Carver Street in Dartmouth. This planning matter is still in an early stage of review, and it may be the subject of a future staff report. But as of this time, it's a relatively early matter, so it's just being circulated as general correspondence at this time, and staff has also received the correspondence for the sake of collection as part of that planning matter.
And if a report should come forward in the future, I assume that all those correspondence be part of that report?
Yes, that's right. It's the clerk's office plan as best we can to collect correspondence and make sure that that is circulated or recirculated at the time of a planning application.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so we have any petitions by any members of council? I'm not hearing any. So we'll move forward. No presentations are scheduled for tonight. So we'll get into reports. Agenda item 13.1.1, case number 23533, non-substantive amendments to an existing development agreement for One Horizon Court. May we ask that do we need a presentation on this, Councillor Austin? Do you want to handle this matter going forward?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'm happy. This is my district. I'm happy to move it. I don't think there's a presentation. I don't think we need one myself. So I would move that Harbour East Marine Drive Community Council 1 approved by resolution the proposed second amending development agreement as set out in attachment A to allow a non-substantive amendment to the existing development agreement, One Horizon Court Dartmouth, to extend the commencement and completion dates for the development, and 2, require the second amending development agreement be signed by the property owner within 240 days or any extension thereof granted by council on request of the property owner from the date of final approval by council and any other bodies as necessary, including applicable appeal periods, whichever is later. Otherwise, this approval will be void and obligations arising hereunder shall be at an end.
Is there a seconder, please?
I'll second.
Councillor Purdy seconds that. Debate, Councillor Austin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Councillor Purdy. So I just have one very quick question for staff. If someone is on the line, what I just want to confirm is just what consideration was made here, because of course, the entire reason we have we have deadlines on development agreements is so that they don't extend on forever and ever and ever when our planning circumstances change. And we are right in the midst of our planning circumstances changing. This site is zoned under the center plan for high density. So either under the old plan, which is the development agreement, or on the center plan, there is a large building that would be allowed to be built here. It would just be somewhat shorter under the center plan. So I'm curious, just from a staff point of view, when they assess this, how they weighed the transition period that we're all in as we're moving from center plan, from the old rules into the center plan.
Mr. Chair, Paul Sampson. So the maximum time extension in this case that's permitted under center plan is the 1-year time extension. And so if in terms of council's consideration, the planning rules that council should consider are the ones under the old planning strategy. So until until such time as the rules change again, we're not sure what that may be. But currently, there's a 1-year time extension, and any consideration is under the former policies that were in place at the time this development agreement was approved. And also, there was one time extension granted already. So this is the second request.
Yes, it's been a bit of a bad luck all around with the passing of the company's founder and the challenges they had as a result of that, and then COVID comes along. So what I'm hearing very much is that the 1-year extension that council is being asked to give here, it's very much in line with what we're allowing as a transition period under the center plan.
Yes, that's correct, Mr. Chair. And just in response to the council's question, again, this is the maximum time period, but it's certainly, for reasons that are, I guess, reasonable in this case. So that's.
Thank you, Paul. So I'll just conclude. I have no problem with extending this, just given we are in this transition period. This is an existing development agreement. This isn't a retrial of the existing agreement. I did have some questions about this because of the sign that was up in the tree there on Micmac Boulevard. So it is none of those things. It is just that transition. And if the applicant is watching or online, I hope they're taking away the message that we have deadlines on the agreements for a reason, so that they don't go on forever when our planning circumstances change. Well, our planning circumstances are changing here, so I would be very hard to justify any further extensions of this agreement beyond this point. So it is a build it or lose it moment. Thank you.
Any further comment or questions? Okay, I'll call for the question then. All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. All right, our next item of business will be agenda item 13.1.3, case number 22867, stage 2 development agreement for 16th Kings Wharf Place in Dartmouth, Lot E. I'll ask Councillor Austin, please.
Sorry, I was on mute there. That would be me. Thank you. So I would move that Harbour East Marine Drive Community Council give notice of motion to consider the proposed Stage 2 development agreement as set out in Attachment A of the September 21st, 2021 report for a 27-story mixed-use building at 16 Kings Wharf Place, Dartmouth.
Second.
Seconded by Councillor Kent. I think I heard first there. Any further comment or question on the motion? No clarification?
No, Mr. Chair, nothing for me. I mean, we're simply scheduling the public hearing where we'll then actually have a proper chance to really look at it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So therefore, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Item agenda number 13.1.4, case number 22579. Request for possible amendments to the Dartmouth land use bylaws to mitigate impact of residential uses for commercial uses. Which Dartmouth councilor wants to tackle this one? Councilor Mancini, you want to handle this one?
I'll yield. Go ahead to another counselor.
I don't mind. I'll put it on the floor so that we can have
All
a
right.
debate on it.
Go ahead.
Move that Harbour East Marine Drive Council direct staff to continue to enforce the existing noise bylaw, and 2, monitor ongoing applications for changes in land uses within the Waverly Road plan designation to determine the efficiency and existing use mitigation regulations, land use mitigation regulations. So moved.
Second it, please, by, I assume, Councilor Mancini, the local councilor, second that.
Second.
Any comment or questions on the motion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Next item of business. Does member of council, community council have anything to bring forward? Any motions or there's no in-camera items? So we'll go to the added item on the agenda, 16.1 case number 23374 development agreement for 246 Waverly Road and 2 and 4 Montebello Drive in Dartmouth. Councilor Mancini.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. From a procedure point of view, I'm going to request that we defer this. So do I need to put the motion on the floor first, or I just can ask for the deferral?
Just to clarify with the clerk, since we have it on the agenda as an approved amended item, I'll go to the clerk for his direction.
Yeah, so we would just entertain a motion for deferral, which can be brought at any time. You can either put the motion on first and then defer it, or make a motion of deferral as of this time as well. It is now an item, so if we would defer it, it'll go to the next agenda as I believe a deferred item, and the report will be posted with the agenda as well.
Well, Mr. Chair, if I may, then thank you, Simon. I would like to put a motion forward to defer this item, and I can speak to the reason why if that's needed.
Go ahead, sir. I'll take the motion to defer. Is there a second for the deferral? Then we get a debate on that.
A second.
Second by Councilor Kent. All right, Mr. Mancini.
Thank you, Councilor Kent. So it was the last item to the agenda. I want to make sure that residents of the area have a chance to read the report. I didn't want to have a debate and vote happen tonight without the residents seeing it. So I did speak to the applicant and of this, and so everyone's fine with it. And so my desire is that we defer tonight, and that'll be on the November meeting. And then at that point in time, we can get into the meat of the report.
So as it stands now, this report is now on the agenda for people to access. Okay, thank you very much. Any further debate on the motion deferral? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. All those in favor say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Any notices of motion by any members of council? Hearing none, public participation. Mr. Clerk, do we have anybody signed up for tonight's public participation?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We have no registered speakers for this meeting.
Okay. The date of our next meeting is scheduled for November the 4th. There's a possibility we may be doing that in person, perhaps at the Halifax City Hall chambers if the committee wishes, because I believe our chambers are still being utilized by the Nova Scotia Department of Health, Nova Scotia Public Health, for COVID testing venue. So we look forward perhaps having an in-person meeting after a year of being online. So may I take a motion for adjournment, please? Councilor Purdy.
I so move.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Have yourselves a pleasant evening, and hope to see you in person next time round.